Hi everyone, in this video we'll be making that quick little thing you just saw in the thumbnail. It's going to be a little Lindt candy holder, and I just thought of something that would work if you're just going to make it handmade without using like a Cricut, and so let's see how it goes. So if any of the items I'm using are available, I'll go ahead and link those for you guys. Possibly embed the video down in the description box. Those would be affiliate links, which means I'll make a small commission if you purchase items through those links. And my idea was to make like a little matchbox, but it's going to hold a chocolate. So I suppose you could also pop in a Ferrero Rocher. I do have some of those here. They're a little taller. They're a little different, but we'll see. So I'm just going to grab some Christmas paper. Looks already cut into this one. So let's go with that. The paper cannot be super thick because I'm going to use a punch like this one. And it can struggle when you're doing something that's too thick. But you can also use, you know, what's the word? A die. And you can run it through and that will obviously cut through real well. But let me see if I were to add one of these guys. I want it to look like a matchbook, but I don't want it to be too big because, I don't know. But it's more of a stocking stuffer. You can definitely add a tag, you know, twine at the top. Especially this paper. It's cute. I like the two sides. Okay, I'm going to cut this as wide as this paper. So I'm just making up the numbers from that, but you can do whatever you want. So 3.5 inches. It's a little bit big still, but we'll see how it goes. So 3.5. Only because this paper has a stripe and I feel like I want to preserve that. You might be able to go a little thinner than that. And then it needs to hold this guy. Okay, so let's pretend it's going to be like a matchbook. So actually it needs to be on this side. So that goes up like that, plus the little top. I don't want to make it too big, so I'm just trying to see how big this is. Let's say 3.5 inches plus another 1/2 inch or so. Okay, so 7-8 inches. Let me think. Let me clip that. 8.5 inches. Okay. And this is weird, but I'm just coming up with some numbers because. So it's 3.5 by 8.5. And then we're going to do some scoring. And we're going to score at 3.5 and at 7. So I should probably leave this out. So 3.5 by 8.5. These are just numbers I come up with. You know, I can cut a little bit off of this so to make it look a little more uniform. I can see that. So, you know, a little skinnier than 3.5. It's not the biggest deal. We're just making a matchbook type thing. So 3.5. Scoring. Okay, so guys, I don't want to misinform. It's actually only 2 scores. I was like, what? Okay, so at 3.5. And then at 7.5. Score that. So just at 3.5 and at 7.5. Okay. And then we're going to score it at that 3.5. We'll score it here. And what I did was, in my mind, is I made it so that you have this 1/2 inch piece down here that we're going to staple. But this can still slide in and out. So I needed at least 1 inch here, but you need to clear this in here. So that's why I gave myself a 1/2 inch clearance. I hope that makes sense, right? And let me score this so it's straight. I think by the time we do everything, that's not gonna matter as much. Okay, and then this little guy, actually, that's a really nice sizing for it to go this way. It can go this way if you want. Right down in here somewhere. So I'm just eyeballing that. And that's why I grabbed this guy, because I can punch this anywhere. And I always forget how this works. I don't want to say you're supposed to put this here. I don't remember. There you go. Something like that. Yeah. So the magnet down at the bottom and then this guy. And it's a cute little circle-y punch and it should work. It should be a 1 inch punch. And I'm just trying to see where I want to put this. Down towards the middle. And actually the whole thing is that you're supposed to be able to see over here where you're putting it, right? With that clear template and all that. But I think that's pretty good. Okay. So I'm gonna put all my weight in this, and again, the paper cannot be super, super thick because it won't work. I mean, you guys, you can punch through one and then eyeball after you punch the one, folding it, and then try to get the other one in the exact same place using your template and using your ability to see through it. But I don't know. So, okay. Now, we can put 2 staples, but I think for a quick project, probably just 1 is good. And don't staple it shut. You just want to put that staple there to pretend to be a matchbook type thing. And let's see how it works. Let's see how we did. Oh my gosh, is that enough overlap? I think it is. Oh my gosh, I totally just made this up. And I was even thinking about it, I'm like, when this starts bulging out, it might not work. But no, I mean, that's a perfect amount of overlap. Very cute. I mean, if you want to add some stamping, some, die cut, something that hangs off of here. You can still do a bow if you wanted to add some twine, if you want to do more with it, right? I mean, let's do that real quick just to go over our finger bows again. That worked so well. And it's a cute little stocking stuffer in my opinion, right? So again, for this example, it was just about 3.5 inches wide. I did cut it a little bit. Remember, I cut just like 3¼ inch wide by 8.5, and you're scoring at 3.5, and then you're scoring at the 7.5. Okay, so that leaves a 1 inch tab here, and then the rest of it's what it is. Okay. Let's make a finger bow. I'm never gonna run out of this. This is every year you come back here making Christmas things, you're gonna see this. As you guys, I got that at Home Goods, and it's just, and it matches everything. It's been matching everything that I've been making. So, okay, so finger bow. You're gonna take your twine over your fingers, up and around your index, and as many loops as you do at the top, you're doing at the bottom. So here that would finish 1 loop at the top, 1 loop at the bottom. So I'm gonna go for 2. Go over your index, back in between, and I have my fingers kind of wide, so it's going to make bigger loops. You can imagine if it's smaller or tighter, there'll be smaller loops. And then this one is going to finish itself off, right? So now at this point, you know what, maybe I want to readjust that. I'm going to cut it off at the end. I usually don't cut it until I know what I need. Give myself a generous tail. So that's going to finish that loop. What you're going to do is go across everything, right? Push in between your fingers here. And now you made this little strip here, like this, I don't know, bar that goes over the top there. You're going to go under that, through it, right? So that's how you make the actual bow, and pull it tight. And that's why I leave myself a generous tail, because I want it to match the beginning. You don't really know, I mean, that's pretty good. If I don't, I'll cut a little bit off of this one. There you go. And I mean, we can add that here. You can add it to the top if you want it to look more like a matchbook, right? Or if the matchbook is, it doesn't matter. Put it wherever you like. Make a hole and, put it on a tree or whatever. Let's see. And I'm just going to glue mine up here, I suppose. All right, that means I can't touch it for a little while. But I mean, if you want to cover this, you can definitely cover that up. I want it to look like a matchbook though, so I don't really want to cover that, but put it wherever you want, or don't put it. Like I said, you can do all kinds of other things. All right, guys, well, that was a quick one, I hope. Thanks for watching. That was really fun. It's just something I was thinking about right now this morning, and I was thinking about what other kinds of things I can show you guys that are quick down at the wire here, and that's pretty quick. I mean, I think it is. Okay, so again, roughly 3.5 by 8.5, scored at 3.5 and 7.5, and that's it. Put a little staple, punch your little space wherever it is that you want. And if this was a die, I would go ahead and fold it up and all that, put the die where I want it, put a little tape, run it through your machine so it goes through both, right? The front and the back, and there you go. That's very cute. You can imagine you can make it to hold maybe 2 or like in different areas. I don't know. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you're having a great one. I'll see you at the next one. Bye now. Oh, guys, as I was taking pictures, I just want to show you something. I went to open it so I can take a picture of it open. And it actually came with the front of it, so it stayed over here for some reason. But I thought it was really cute. It really holds on really well. If I had planned this better, I wouldn't have cut out that little deer's face, but look at that. The paper works out really well for this. But I like that it just kind of holds it, right? So it doesn't just like roll around. What I was going to say is the Ferrero Rocher. If you're going to put one of those in here, it would fit. Like you can see the top of it with little Ferrero Rocher, but It's taller. It's much taller candy. So what I would do is make this a little bit longer, the whole project, maybe add 1.5 inches or so, fold it over so that it still can click in, because otherwise it's going to be way out here. It's not going to match up, you know, with the sizing that I just gave for the Lindt candy. But, you know, just something to think about. But I did want to show you, like, that just worked out so well. And, like, the candy does not fall out. So it holds it just right, you know. We could have done anything with the sizing, but I think the sizing was perfect for this project. So, all right, guys. Well, thanks for watching. I will see you all at the next one. Bye now.